This morning when I woke up, the Father spoke to me, Holy Spirit, and He said, coup d'etat. And I looked it up. I've heard the saying before, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And it was a coup. When a government is taken over by a group, either someone that was in power or someone that was plotting and planning to take over a government. And he spoke that in my spirit this morning. And I asked him, what country? I said, is it America or is it Israel? And he didn't answer me yet.
Are you serious? Are you serious? We've got breaking news coming out of Saudi Arabia. Now, this is coming through the Fars news agency, which is out of Iran. And I always take a pause and then begin to circle around that to find out, like Al Jazeera and other Middle Eastern communication, including the Jerusalem Post, to see where this story is going. But a lot of times they will pan out. So here's what we're hearing out of the Middle East. The tens of princes and princesses are fleeing the Saudi Arabian nation in anticipation of death. The Palestinian daily Al-Manar quoted informed sources as saying that many members of the royal family have fled Saudi Arabia to other countries after increased internal differences and rivalries in the House of Saud and their policies in the region. A large number of the royal family members believe that their lives are at stake and could be assassinated at any moment. According to reports, a number of these princes and princesses aren't allowed to leave the country and are still in Saudi Arabia under the supervision of the security bodies. Meantime, the fear is not confined to Saudi Arabia, and certain areas of Qatar and the United Arab Emirates prince and princesses have also left their countries. The report came after a U.S.-based think tank raised the possibility that Saudi King Salman may leave the power in favor of his son Mohammed bin Salman, who is now the deputy crown prince and defense minister. And he's actually calling the shots because King Salman, and you may remember when King Abdullah died about 2 years ago in January of 2015. I remember it because I was at New York City. I was in New York City and preaching a revival at Harvest Army Church International there in the Bronx, New York, when King Salman died. And I remember King Hussein died. And when King Salman took over, he was already very elderly and with severe dementia. So you knew he couldn't remain in power long. Now rumors are circulating that it looks like there's going to be a change of power. And because of that, the Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, rather than 80-year-old King Salman. Okay? Now, the Mohammed bin Salman is only 57 years old, all right? And so if he takes over as king, he's younger, he's aggressive, and he has vendettas against several of the other Saudi princes that are in this royal family. And so Iran recognizes that there's the potential for a coup to take place during this shift of power, this transition of power. And of course, the Saudi Arabians have to be very concerned because Iran has been empowered by the 6 superpower nations when they signed the Iranian nuke deal, making Iran a world player. The Russians have taken Iran under their wings, And remember something, the Saudi Arabians are Sunni Muslims, while Iran is Shiite. And they hate each other. And their ideology and their end-time eschatology within their own Islamic theology is way off track, and they hate each other. So Iran is being empowered by Obama and the world group of nations with this Iranian nuke deal, with the relieving them of these sanctions, $1.7 billion infusion, the new technological advancement within nuclear capabilities by the help of the Russians. And so what's Iran do? Well, they come right into Syria and are sitting there shoulder to shoulder helping to fight along with the Russians to take control of Syria. And what else do? They're continuing to fund Hezbollah. They're continuing to fund Hamas in Gaza. They're continuing to fund the Houthi rebels that overthrew the Yemen government and are fighting Saudi Arabia. And now the Saudi Arabian, the greed, the money-hungry greed, and the greed for the power. And the Saudi Arabians have been living high on the hog, folks, since the 80s. Really, even before that. OPEC, okay, the formation of OPEC. You'll go back into the early 70s. These guys have been living like kings, literally, with no fear of attacks, because Big Brother United States, the Bush family, the Bush dynasty, the Clinton dynasty have been protecting them. But all of a sudden, they're having an internal power struggle. The Iranians are breathing down their neck, and Donald Trump is saying, who's going to pay the bill? Because we're no longer doing this for free. We're not protecting you no more for free. Matter of fact, we're going to start drilling our own oil out of Texas, Alaska, and Oklahoma, and everywhere else. So there is a serious vulnerability in the desert sands of Saudi Arabia. And the only way Saudi Arabia is going to keep power in the family is to pay the United States to protect them, because Trump's not going to do it for free no more. Are you serious? There is a shift and a rift. So you need to hang in there, folks. Hang on. It's going to get insane. It's going to get crazy, because we're living in the last days. And these are exactly the things the Bible said would happen in the end times. Don't ever underestimate the change and the spiritual winds and the change, the political shift that's taking place around the world. The New World Order thought for sure they were going to take full power right now. It's been delayed. And now the confrontation has begun. Wow. Are you serious? Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Don't miss today's live broadcast. It's going to be powerful. We've got a lot to talk about. Are you serious?